Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Friday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Busy slate today. Starting with a doubleheader between the Chicago Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds. Cubs opening up as road favorites at -110. The Reds +100 with the over-under at 9.5. Cubs coming into this matchup 71-62. The Reds 69-66. Pitching for the Cubs is Jordan Wicks with an ERA of 1.80. Pitching for the Reds is Graham Ashcraft with an ERA of 4.73. Wicks has only pitched once this season, pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 9 strikeouts. Ashcraft, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Cubs playing pretty well right now, 7-3 in their last 10. Reds coming off a Giants win, ending that little 3-game losing streak that they were on. Cubs, Ashcraft been pretty, hasn't been the greatest, giving up about 2 or 3 runs a game here. And, Wicks did look very good in his last start. And, doubleheaders are tough. And, I like the Reds at home here. I think they're a good underdog today. Not too much experience for Wicks here. And, I think I'm going to take the Reds +1.5 at home in game 1. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds. Looks like game 2 is a pick'em scenario at -10 with the over-under at 9.5. Cubs coming into this matchup 71-62. The Reds 69-66. Pitching for the Cubs is Javier Assad with an ERA of 2.96. I don't see anyone listed for the Reds currently, so it's almost like that every single doubleheader game too. There's always a pitcher not listed, and that's kind of how it always is. So be sure to check that. Assad been pretty good on the mound, giving up about 1 or 2 runs a game. Gave up 1 run in his last start with 7 strikeouts, so coming off a pretty solid showing. We're just going to see who ends up pitching for the Cubs here. I'm sorry, for the Reds. And I just don't like doubleheaders here. Assad's been good on the mound in a pick'em scenario. I think Cubs can win game 2, and I'll take Cubs in this matchup. Next matchup, we got the Miami Marlins versus the Washington Nationals. Marlins opening up as road favorites at -165. Washington +140 with the over-under at 8.5. Marlins coming into this matchup 67-67. Washington 62-73. Pitching for the Marlins is Yuri Perez with an ERA of 2.68. Pitching for the Nationals is Jake Irvin with an ERA of 4.30. Perez, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 7 strikeouts, coming off back-to-back 0-run games. Irvin, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 3 strikeouts. Miami beating Washington yesterday 6-1. Nice win for the Marlins here. They are 8-2 against the Nationals, 5-0 on the road against the Nationals here. I do like Perez on the mound, coming off 2 hot performances, and I think I'm going to take the Marlins on the road in this one. Next matchup, we got the Seattle Mariners versus the New York Mets. Seattle opening up as road favorites at -125. The Mets +105 with the over-under at 7.5. Seattle coming into this matchup 76-57. The Mets 61-73. Pitching for Seattle is Logan Gilbert with an ERA of 3.66. Pitching for the Mets is Kadai Senga with an ERA of 3.17. Gilbert, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 7 strikeouts. Senga, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 10 strikeouts. Seattle, coming off an Oakland win, they're 8-2 in their last 10. Mets coming off a nice Rangers win, but I mean, still haven't played well. Seattle 4-1 against the Mets, 8-1 on the road, getting it done on the road here. Julio Rodriguez, questionable. I know he's been out for a little bit, or last game or so. So hopefully he does come back into the lineup today. But yeah, Gilbert coming off 2 decent starts here. He's been decent this season. And I'm going to take the Mariners on the road. Next matchup, we got the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Cleveland Guardians. Rays opening up as road favorites at -180. Cleveland +150 with the over-under at 7.5. Rays coming into this matchup 82-52. The Guardians 64-70. Pitching for the Rays is Tyler Glasnow with an ERA of 3.12. Pitching for the Guardians is Cal Quantrill with an ERA of 6.45. Glasnow, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Quantrill, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 3 strikeouts. Yeah, Quantrill coming off some brutal starts on the mound, giving up 5, 6, and 8 runs in his last 3 games here. It's been rough for him. Rays on a 4-game winning streak, 8-2 in their last 10. 5-1 on the road here. And yeah, I just do not like Quantrill on the mound, and I'm going to take the Rays on the road. Next matchup, we got the Minnesota Twins versus the Texas Rangers. Rangers opening up as home favorites at -150. Minnesota +135 with the over-under at 8. Twins coming into this matchup 69-65. The Rangers 75-58. Pitching for the Twins is Joe Ryan with an ERA of 4.33. Pitching for the Rangers is Max Scherzer with an ERA of 3.71. Ryan, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 7 strikeouts. Scherzer, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 10 strikeouts. Minnesota coming off back-to-back Cleveland losses. Rangers coming off a Mets loss. And yeah, Rangers have, just haven't been playing well. And it's been a rough stretch for them. They've had some brutal losses. Went 1-4 in the last Minnesota series a few games ago here, where they struggled. Minnesota looked very good here. They're 8-2 on the road against the Rangers. And, Scherzer been solid on the mound. They did win their last meeting with Scherzer on the mound against Minnesota. Nice 6-2 win here. So I think I'm going to roll with the Rangers at home. I like Scherzer on the mound, and I think they can get it done here. And I'm going to roll with Texas at home. Next matchup, we got the Boston Red Sox versus the Kansas City Royals. Boston opening up as road favorites at -175. The Royals +140 with the over-under at 9.5. Boston coming into this matchup 69-65. The Royals 41-94. Pitching for Boston is James Paxton with an ERA of 3.99. Pitching for the Royals is Jordan Lyles with an ERA of 6.39. Paxton, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Lyles, his last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 7 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Boston on a 4-game losing streak, coming off a very bad Houston series. And then the Royals, they're on a 6-game losing streak, coming off getting swept by the Pirates. Boston 4-1 against the Royals, so they've been good head-to-head. Lyle's been just horrible on the mound this season for the Royals here, and I'm going to take the Red Sox on the road. Next matchup, we've got the Detroit Tigers versus the Chicago White Sox. Detroit opening up as road favorites at -130. The White Sox +115 with the over-under at 8.5. Detroit coming into this matchup 60-74. The White Sox 53-81. Pitching for the Tigers is Eduardo Rodriguez with an ERA of 3.21. Pitching for the White Sox is Touki Toussaint with an ERA of 4.85. Rodriguez, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 1 strikeout. Toussaint, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Detroit, coming off a Yankees win, they're just 3-7 in their last 10. White Sox coming off a big win against Baltimore, 10-5. Yeah, I mean, not the greatest pitching matchup. Both pitchers giving up some runs here. Detroit just 2-4 against the White Sox. I mean, so they haven't really played that well head to head here, and not one of my favorite matchups on the slate. And I'm gonna take a shot with the White Sox +1.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Atlanta Braves versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Braves opening up as road favorites at -130. The Dodgers +115 with the over-under at 8.5. Braves coming into this matchup 88-45. The Dodgers 83-50. Pitching for the Braves is Max Fried with an ERA of 2.85. Pitching for the Dodgers is Julio Urias with an ERA of 4.41. Fried, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Urias, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Braves beating the Dodgers yesterday 8-7 in a close one. They're on a 4-game winning streak. I figure 2 elite teams, we got a 1-run game. That's kind of how you draw it up there. Braves are just 5-15 on the road against the Dodgers. So if anything, they have struggled on the road against LA. 2 good pitchers on the mound, and again, I still like the Dodgers +1.5 at home. They had their chances to win yesterday, and another good pitching matchup as well. So I'll take Dodgers +1.5 here. Next matchup, we've got the New York Yankees versus the Houston Astros. Houston opening up as home favorites at -190. The Yankees +170 with the over-under at 8.5. Yankees coming into this matchup 65-69. The Astros 77-58. Pitching for the Yankees is Carlos Rodon with an ERA of 5.97. Pitching for the Astros is Justin Verlander with an ERA of 3.06. Rodon, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Verlander, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Coming off back-to-back 0-run games here for the Astros. Yankees coming off a Detroit loss. Houston on a 5-game winning streak, coming off that 3-game Boston sweep. Yankees 0-6 on the road against Houston. 2-9 straight up against the Astros, so they really struggled against Houston here. Love Verlander on the mound, and I'm going to take the Astros at home. Next matchup, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Phillies opening up as road favorites at -115. Milwaukee +105 with the over-under at 7.5. Phillies coming into this matchup 74-59. The Brewers also 74-59. Pitching for the Phillies is Zach Wheeler with an ERA of 3.53. Pitching for the Brewers is Freddie Peralta with an ERA of 3.95. Wheeler, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 10 strikeouts. Peralta, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. The Phillies coming off an Angels loss. Brewers coming off back-to-back Cubs losses here. The Phillies 8-3 on the road against the Brewers. 4-2 straight up against Milwaukee, so they've been really good head-to-head against the Brewers here. Peralta coming off some really good starts on the mound, and I think Brewers are a good underdog today at home. 2 pretty solid pitchers on the mound. I'll take Milwaukee plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals opening up as road favorites at home favorites at -115. The Pirates plus 105 with the over-under at 8.5. Pirates coming into this matchup 61-73. The Cardinals 58-76. Pitching for the Pirates is Mitch Keller with an ERA of 4.01. Pitching for the Cardinals is Dakota Hudson with an ERA of 4.41. Keller, his last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Hudson, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 1 strikeout. The Pirates on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a nice Royals sweep. Cardinals coming off back-to-back Padres wins. Pirates, they are 5-1 against St. Louis, 4-1 on the road, so they've actually been pretty good head-to-head. Hudson, he's been okay, coming off a 5-run game, give him about 2-3 runs a game here. Hudson, been pretty solid on the mound his last few starts, and I think I'm going to take a shot with the Pirates plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Colorado Rockies. Toronto opening up as road favorites at -170. Colorado plus 155 with the over-under at 12.5. Toronto coming into this matchup 73-61. The Rockies 49-84. Pitching for Toronto is Hyun Jin Ryu with an ERA of 2.25. Pitching for the Rockies is Chris Flexen with an ERA of 6.94. Jin Ryu, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Flexen, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Toronto coming off a nice 7-0 win against Washington yesterday. Colorado 1-9 in their last 10. It's been a brutal stretch for the Rockies here. Jin Ryu been really great on the mound, coming off some really great starts here, and with the Rockies struggling, I'm gonna take Toronto on the road. Next matchup, we got the Baltimore Orioles versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Baltimore opening up as road favorites at -115. Arizona -105 with the over-under at 9.5. Baltimore coming into this matchup 83-50. Arizona 69-65. Pitching for Baltimore is Cole Irvin with an ERA of 4.78. Pitching for Arizona is Zach Davies with an ERA of 6.93. Irvin, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Davies, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. Baltimore coming off a White Sox loss. Arizona coming off a 3-game Dodgers sweep here. Did not play well in that series. Baltimore, they've struggled against Arizona. 1-7 on the road against the Diamondbacks. 5-11 straight up against Arizona here. Davies hasn't been that good on the mound for Arizona this season. And this is a tough one here. But I think I'm going to lean with the Orioles just because I don't like Davies on the mound. I know Orioles haven't played that well against Arizona here, but I think they can do well, and I'll take Baltimore on the road. Next matchup, we got the Los Angeles Angels versus the Oakland Athletics. Angels opening up as road favorites at -150. Oakland plus 135 with the over-under at 8. Angels coming into this matchup 64-70. Oakland 39-95. Pitching for the Angels is Patrick Sandoval with an ERA of 4.17. Pitching for Oakland is JP Sears with an ERA of 4.73. Sandoval, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 7 strikeouts. Sears, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Coming off 2 brutal starts on the mound, giving up 6 and 7 runs. LA coming off a Phillies win. Oakland coming off a Seattle loss. LA 5-1 against Oakland, so they've been a good head-to-head here. Sandoval, he's been all right, coming off 2 decent starts on the mound, and I think I'll take a shot with the Angels on the road. In the last matchup, we got the San Francisco Giants versus the San Diego Padres. Padres opening up as home favorites at -135. The Giants +115 with the over-under at 8. Giants coming into this matchup 70-64. The Padres 62-73. Pitching for the Giants is Tristan Beck with an ERA of 3.52. Pitching for the Padres is Michael Wacha with an ERA of 2.84. Beck, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Wacha, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Giants beating the Padres yesterday 7-2. Nice win for the Giants. Padres 1-6 in their last 7. I mean, they are not playing well right now. Giants are 4-1 against the Padres. Decent underdog today, and I'll take Giants +1.5 on the road. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Friday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good one.